Hey everybody, today we're going to learn, this is the first Photoshop assignment that we're going to do. It's called the culture poster, or the about me poster, or something like that. So you are going to make a kind of a photo montage, or collage I guess, of pictures that are somehow tell us about you. Okay, so it might be your family, it might be things that you like, where you're from, uh, your background, your heritage, any of that kind of stuff. Whatever will help us to get to know you. Um, so this is one that I made. You know, pictures of Utah, San Francisco, Japan, places I've lived, instruments that I like to play. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, board game, and BYU football. So you know, super nerdy stuff. Anyway, make something like this and help us get to know you. I'm going to show you how to do this using Photoshop. So first of all, let's go to the bottom here and let's open up Photoshop. What we want to do to start out with is make a new file, and we need to set get the right size. This is always the first thing you want to do when you're doing something in Photoshop, is start out with the right size that you know you want for the end product. So in this case, we're going to print it out on a regular size piece of paper. So I'm going to do 8 by 5 inches wide, 11 inches tall. If you want to flip that, do it 11 inches wide and 8 by 5 tall. Either way works, just depends if you want it landscape or portrait. Resolution should be 300. That's usually the minimum that you want for something you're printing out. Color mode should be CMYK. That also for anything you're printing out should be CMYK. And background should be transparent. Once you have all this, then hit OK, and you'll have a picture of this. This kind of checkerboard grid means that all of this part will be transparent. Now, before I do anything, let's find some pictures I want to put in there. I'm just going to slide this over for now, and here on my desktop, just make sure I can see the desktop, I'm just going to right click here, choose new folder, and photos for poster. So I've made this new folder here. I'm going to double click this and also move this kind of over to the side. This will make it easy to drag things into it. Okay, let's go to my browser. I already did a search for the Beatles. So let's say we want some pictures of the Beatles in here. We'll go images. Then let's go here to search tools and go to size. Because some of these, if you hover over them, you can see the pixels. These are pretty small pictures. This one's good size, this one's small, that one's really small. So if you choose one that's too small, when you put it on your picture, it's going to be even smaller than this. And when it prints out, it's going to look terrible. So we're going to narrow this down. Larger than, I would go with this one here for this project, 1024. Now, any one of these pictures that we choose will be big enough. Okay, let's go with this one here. They're holding their instruments. That looks good. Just to be safe, it's a good idea to go here to view image. Sometimes in that previous one you're not actually looking at the full size thing, so just going to go here and get it as big as it'll go, and then click and drag this into my folder here. See how it saved it? Then let's do one more, just so I can show you how to move layers around. I really like Gandalf. Let's see what we can find of him. There we go, yeah. And let's go here to view image again. Drag that over. Okay. Now I would probably go ahead and just download all the pictures I think I might need, but this will be good enough for me to show you how to do this. So I'm going to select both of these and right click on them, open with Photoshop. Now I can move this back over. Okay, so over here, oh, that didn't, usually this is down here somewhere. So over here we have our layers. Oh, so this is just that one picture. Okay, up here, see how it says Gandalf, and then this one is the Beatles picture, and then this one is our original. If somehow all of these are, if this whole top is full of names and you can't see the one for your original, there's probably a little double arrow here that you could click on, and that'll get you back. Or you can go here to Window, and it shows everything you have opened at the bottom here. So let's go back to Gandalf. I'm going to go select all. Okay, so there's the dotted line. Then edit copy. Then let's go here to this one, edit paste. Now if I choose my arrow tool over here, I can move this around wherever I want it. And it added put it onto layer number 1. Alright, now let's do the same with the Beatles. Select all. Also the shortcut for that is Command A. Get used to it, you're going to use that all the time. Then edit, copy, Command C, and go here, edit, paste, or Command V. Memorize those. Alright. Now, what if I wanted this to be the exact same, match up, if I wanted the bottoms of these to match up size-wise. So I'm going to resize, let's make the Gandalf one a little bit bigger. So I'll go down here. It's a good habit to name these layers. If you just double click on the words, then you can name them. So I'll double click there. Now with Gandalf selected, I can go here to edit, free transform, or Command T. Now these squares show up in the corners. I can, stretch it out so it gets all, funhouse mirror kind of thing. If I hold the shift button on my keyboard, then when I pull it, it keeps the same dimensions. So I'm going to hold shift. There we go. Okay, that's about the size that I want it. Now I'm going to try and move this Beatles one. Oh, I can't. See, I'm clicking on it, but I can't move it. That is because Gandalf here is still in free transform mode. Still has the things around the corners. So before I can do anything else with a different layer, I need to hit enter. Okay, now it's going to keep that size. Now I can select the Beatles, slide them over. Okay, and then you can just do that with all the other pictures that you copy into here. Once you do that, I'll show you the last thing you need to do. File, save as. So put your name on it, something like that. And first you're going to save it as a Photoshop file. This is because you might want to go back and change some things later, and it'll keep all the different layers and all that information, and that's super useful. Problem is, I don't have that many pictures on it yet, but let's just see here. Just as of now, it's already 13 megabytes big. So by the time I have 9 pictures on there, it's probably going to be more than 50 megabytes, which is pretty big if you're going to email this or upload it to Canvas or whatever you're going to do with it. So before you turn it in, you need to also go File, Save As, and then this one, instead of Photoshop, change it to JPEG, and then hit Save. All this you can leave how it is. Here it's predicting it'll be 3 megabytes big. I think it'll be even smaller than that. Well, yeah. So we go to Finder. Oh, I was right. 3.5 megabytes. Still quite a bit smaller. So that one is a lot easier to handle for attaching to things. That's it. So have fun playing around with Photoshop, and then in the next one we'll dive into some more complicated things. We'll see you then.